Chapter 3. On Friday, Goonie Bird was wearing capri pants, a satin tank top, and a long string of pearls. Her red hair was twisted into one long braid, which was decorated with plastic flowers. There were flip-flops on her feet. "You look beautiful," Kiko said to Goonie Bird in an admiring whisper. "Yes, I know," Goonie Bird replied. "Thank you, Kiko." She walked to the front of the classroom when Mrs. Pigeon told her it was time. Malcolm was in the back of the classroom. He was at his desk writing. "I will never put anything in my nose 100 times on a piece of paper." The nurse had told him to do that. She said it would keep his hands busy. "How come Goonie Bird gets to stand in front of the classroom?" Malcolm asked. "Shh." Everybody except Felicia Ann said to Malcolm, "Listen." Today, Goonie Bird said, "I have a very exciting story to tell you. In my story, there's a long journey, a mystery, and a rescue." Mrs. Pigeon, seated at her desk, had began correcting some spelling papers. She looked up. "Listen, second graders," she said. "Hear the different things that Goonie Bird is putting into her story. That is what good storytellers do." Goonie Bird was listened patiently to the teacher. Then she stood up straight and did some breathing exercises. Finally, she took a deep breath and looked at the class. "I am ready to begin," she said at last. "The title of the story for today will be How Goonie Bird Came from China on a Flying Carpet." "Just like Aladdin," Barry Tuckerman said in a loud whisper. "Barry, please pay attention," Goonie Bird said. "I like to have absolutely all eyes on me." Then, when the class became silent, all except Felicia Ann, who had been silent all along, and almost all eyes, even Mrs. Pigeon's, were on her, she began. How Goonie Bird Came from China on a Flying Carpet. Once upon a time, just last month, Mr. and Mrs. Green decided to take their little girl, Goonie Bird, and move away from the place where she had always lived. They had always lived in China, but now Mr. Green had a new job, and his new job was in Water Tower. "That's here," Chelsea said aloud. "I live in Water Tower." Goonie Bird stopped talking. She arranged her pearl necklace so that it draped over one shoulder. "Me too," Tricia said. "We all live in Water Tower," Ben pointed out. "That's why we go to the Water Tower Elementary School." "Class," Mrs. Pigeon warned. "Miss Pigeon," Goonie Bird said politely, "let me take care of this." "Children," she said in a firm voice, "I cannot tell a story if I am constantly interrupted. There will be a time for questions and comments. Please raise your hand if you want to say something. It's very distracting for me if you call out." "Sorry," Tricia said. "Sorry," Chelsea said. "Sorry," Ben added. The class waited. Goonie Bird looked at them all sternly. Then she did some breathing exercises and began again. They had always lived in China, but now Mr. Green had a new job.